Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE NXT UK reviews for episodes 11 and 12, and these episodes were released on November 28th, 2018. And yeah, I'm just going to get right into this. I'm really excited for this episode. We have a lot of exciting matches coming up for episode 11. Um, we have the NXT UK Championship match between NXT UK champion Pete Dunn and Jordan Devlin. I'm really excited about that match. I think those two will put on a clinic. And then on episode 12, we're going to have Sid Scala versus Joe Coffey, which I expect to be a squash, but it is what it is. But then we have the match I'm looking forward to probably the most, the NXT inaugural NXT UK Women's Championship Tournament Finals match between Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm. I'm really excited for those matches, and the reason why I want to watch, you know, these episodes is because I want to see all those matches, and I don't want to go to bed and have to wait. So let's get right into episode 11. I'm going to structure my reviews the same way as I did in the last video, where I'll review episode 11 in one take, and then episode 12 in another take, and then obviously on the video. So let's get right into this video. Okay, so first starting off with episode 11 that aired on November 28th, 2018. And we had Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness on commentary for this show. We had the first match. It was a women's tag team match. Xia Brookside and Mila Mackenzie. Or Mackenzie. Yeah, I said it right. Xia Brookside and Mila Mackenzie versus Charlie Morgan and Killer Kelly. Um, I thought this was a good match here. It definitely, shows off the woman's talent, so I liked it for that regard. Um, I like Killer Kelly. This is the first time I've seen Charlie Morgan. I believe she wrestled Killer Kelly. Um, at the United Kingdom Championship Tournament Part 2 episode that they aired this year, but maybe it was somebody else I'm thinking of. I like Millie Mackenzie, and I also like Xia Brookside, so I like everybody that's in this match. Um, Charlie Morgan and Killer Kelly get the heat for a little while on Millie Mackenzie, but obviously that fails. Eventually, Xia Brookside gets the hot tag, and eventually, Killer Kelly distracts the referee, and Charlie Morgan throws her into the ring post. And Killer Kelly is still distracting the referee. So behind the referee's back, Millie Mackenzie hits a spear on Charlie Morgan, and Xia Brookside rolls her up and gets the win. And yeah, I actually was okay with this finish. It was a really nice surprise. I kind of predicted that Xia Brookside and Millie Mackenzie were going to win, but I was kind of thinking this match could go either way. I thought they were going to give Xia Brookside like a babyface story where she was like new to the business and, well, not new to the business, but the young person in the business because she's only 18, and they were going to have a struggle to get a win, but it's not what happened, so I was happy about this. Um, then we had the next match. It was Ashton Smith versus Eddie Dennis. Um, I thought this was a good match here. Ashton Smith had to jump up because Eddie Dennis is so tall just to put a headlock on him. I thought that was kind of unique. Um, and he hits a really nice drop kick, setting Eddie Dennis outside the ring. He goes for a dive on the outside, but Eddie Dennis catches him and hits a power slam on the apron. And he dominates Ashton Smith for a while. Ashton Smith mounts a comeback. He hits a really cool Insuguri onto Eddie Dennis. He hits a really cool DDT on him. But then eventually Eddie Dennis gets the better of him when he hits the Razor's Edge buckle bomb in the corner. And then he hits, I forget the name of the finisher, but the reverse DDT. And wins the match, and Eddie Dennis wins. I thought that made sense because Eddie Dennis is someone that they've been a little bit more behind, and he's someone that I think they can do a lot with. So I was happy Eddie Dennis went over. Then we had the next match. It was Saxon Hugsley versus Joseph Connors. This obviously was a match that took place because of the previous episode where Joseph Connors attacked him. And I thought this was a good match here. I thought Saxon Hugsley showed a lot. And this really wasn't a wrestling match. This was more of a fight because Saxon Hugsley just beat the crap out of Joseph Connors for a while. But then eventually Joseph Connors dominated the matchup. And Saxon Hugsley mounted a comeback and beat the crap out of Joseph Connors. But then eventually he gets the upper hand, hits a reverse DDT on Joseph Connors, and then he hits um, another reverse DDT, and then eventually he gets the win. He talks trash to Joseph Connors, saying that this is my world, and Saxon Huntley's just living in it, and he hits Don't Look Down on him for the win. But Joseph Connors looked really strong here, and I was happy he got the win, because I thought at first that Saxon Huntley was going to get the win, but that's not what happened. But I was happy that Joseph Connors went over here. And then we had a video package for Tony Storm, hyping him up for the inaugural NXT UK Women's Championship Tournament Finals match. Just kind of showing everything that she's ever done in her career and um, things like that. I really enjoyed the video package. It was really nice to look back at that. Tony Storm even talked about how she doesn't want to win the NXT UK Women's Championship. She needs to win the NXT UK Women's Championship. Um, and said that if she became number one, that would mean the world to her. Rhea Ripley has a video package and pretty much talks about how everybody that she's been in the ring with has just been nothing more than victims, and that's what Tony Storm's going to be on the next episode. And said that when people think of Rhea Ripley, they'll think of destruction and viciousness. I liked that. I liked her video package a lot, and I can't wait to watch their match on the next episode. Then we had the main event. It was an NXT United Kingdom Championship match. NXT United Kingdom Champion Pete Dunne versus Jordan Devlin. This was a great main event. If you had not seen this match, definitely give this match a watch because it's great. Jordan Devlin immediately hits a wicked right hand right onto Pete Dunne, just a completely cheap shot at him. And eventually Pete Dunne attacks Jordan Devlin. He tries to do his flip that he likes to do out of the corner, but Jordan Devlin catches him and he hits a backbreaker on him, which was awesome. And Pete Dunne ends up kicking out of that. So Jordan Devlin takes over the matchup for a bit. Pete Dunne eventually does hit his flip eventually and hits a wicked clothesline right onto Jordan Devlin. And this match was just insane. I'll just break it down spot for spot. They won't be in order, but I'll try to remember them. Jordan Devlin hits 3 Spanish flies, 1 regular one when Pete Dunne tried to stop his hand in off the steps, and Jordan Devlin countered by planting on face first on the steps, and hit another one off the steps, and then one off the turnbuckles, and nearly won the championship a handful of times. Pete Dunne stomped on Jordan Devlin's hand right onto the mat, breaking his hand, and I thought that was awesome. Pete Dunne hit a wicked enzuigiri right to the side of Jordan Devlin's ear, which was awesome. Pete Dunne hit a wicked German suplex onto Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin hit a wicked snap back suplex right onto Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne hit a wicked kick from the apron, which was awesome as well. And this match was just awesome. Pete Dunne hit the bitter end, but was unable to make the cover because Jordan Devlin rolled over on his stomach. And if you've ever watched a wrestling match, you can't be doing that type of stuff. He had gone for it earlier, but his back gave out, and Jordan Devlin turned into a reverse Frankensteiner, which was awesome. Which is just a regular Frankensteiner because there's no such thing as a reverse Frankensteiner, but whatever. This was just an insane match. Pete Dunne hit a wicked knee right to Jordan Devlin's head. Jordan Devlin took the mouth cut out of Pete Dunne's mouth and hit a wicked super kick on him, but didn't get the cover. Pete Dunne got Jordan Devlin to the Koji clutch, but Jordan Devlin got to the ropes. Jordan Devlin hit the Uranagi into the standing moonsault, which he kind of messed up because he accidentally hit Pete Dunne's knees, but I thought they recovered from that very well. Jordan Devlin had a wicked 6 submission on Pete Dunne as well. But then eventually the finish comes when Pete Dunne gets Jordan Devlin into some sort of armbar and breaks Jordan Devlin's arms and just really goes after a submission hold. And Jordan Devlin ends up tapping out, and Pete Dunne retains the United Kingdom Championship, which I was happy about because there was really no need to take the title off Pete Dunne. I think Pete Dunne probably, since it's nearly New Year's Eve, is going to end up holding the NXT UK Championship the rest of the year, and probably will drop the title. Probably an NXT UK takeover. Blackpool is what I would have him drop the title just to make it seem like that show's a big deal. But that was pretty much the match. It was a great main event. I thought it was awesome. And that was pretty much this episode of NXT UK. And I got to say, I really enjoyed this episode. I would have given the show a B-, because while I thought the matches were good, it wasn't quite a B show. But that main event brought this show up to just to a B. I thought it was a really good episode. I enjoy. This was really a wrestling heavy show, which I was all right with. But I enjoyed every match that was on the show. I enjoyed the women's tag. I enjoyed Ashton Smith versus Eddie Dennis, Saxon Hugley versus Joseph Connors, and I enjoyed the build up to the NXT UK Women's Championship Finals match, and I obviously enjoyed the main event. So I thought this was a really good episode. I'm giving it a B. And yeah, now I'm gonna watch episode 12. Okay, so now on to NXT UK episode 12, which was released on the same day. And we had the first match on the show. We had Sid Scala versus Joe Coffey with Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. And Sid Scala comes out, and we find out that he actually wasn't medically cleared to compete. So Johnny Saint said that he could pick his new opponent, and his new opponent ended up being Tyler Bate, which this obviously was a trap. But I like the way they executed this. I like the way this was done. And Tyler Bate comes out and immediately just beats the crap out of Joe Coffey. He hits a really cool dive on the outside, and he goes off the steps and hits a wicked uppercut on him. But then before Tyler Bate had come out, Joe Coffey had sent Mark Coffey and Wolfgang to the back, but then they come back out, which distracts Tyler Bate, and Joe Coffey throws him into the barricade, and he hits a wicked power slam on him in the ring. But Tyler Bate kicks out, and then Joe Coffey gets the advantage throughout the rest of the matchup, just really targeted the injured back of Tyler Bate. But Tyler Bate starts to mount a comeback. He hits a uppercut from the middle turnbuckle. He tries to go for the airplane spin, but his back gives out. And eventually, when he tries to go for it, Wolfgang and Mark Coffey get up on the apron. So this brings out Trent Seven, who is in a knee brace from the attack that had happened weeks ago. Obviously, it was I believe in like episode. I think it was in episode 8. It was. It was in episode 8 where we got that attack, and the match is even. Tyler Bate is able to hit the airplane spin, and then he hits the rolling enziguri onto Joe Coffey, and then the rebound uppercut, which I love that when he does that, and he goes for the Tyler Driver 97. I obviously like the thing too where Joe Coffey grabs the guy and like he's gonna do a double underhook DDT and does the swing with it. I think that's an awesome maneuver. I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. But Wolfgang and Mark Coffey attacked Tyler Bate, and the numbers game catches up to him. And who comes out and makes the save? None other than Pete Dunn. And British Strong Style fight off the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang, and that was pretty much the beginning of the show. I thought this was a hell of a way to kick off a show. I thought we got a really good match, and I like the angle that they set up. And I'm really excited now to see a 6-man tag team match between British Strong Style and the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang. I'm excited to see what happens with that, and yeah, I loved this. I thought it was great. And then we had Dan Maloney versus Ligero. This was Ligero's first match back since he lost to Jordan Devlin, and he looked good out there. I thought this was a good match. Dan Maloney dominates the match for a while, but then misses the leg drop from the middle turnbuckle, and Ligero mounts a comeback. He hits a really cool dive on the outside, but then eventually wins with the springboard DDT and gets the win. So I thought this was a good match here. Made Ligero look strong. Then we had a tag team match. It was Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus James Drake and Zach Gibson. I thought this was a good tag team match, but when you watch a Zach Gibson match, the crowd just really makes the match as well when they do the chant where, "Hey, Zach Gibson, we have our shoes off," or whatever. Here we are, Zach Gibson's shoes off. That's the chant. And they even did it like anytime you would get in the ring, they would chant, "Here we are, Zach Gibson standing up," or they did it when we would get tagged out, they would chant, "Here we are, Zach Gibson sitting down." It was just awesome. Zach Gibson's awesome as a heel, but the heels get the heat on Adman Jordan for a while, which I think makes sense for him, because Adman Jordan is still very green for him to be the one to take the heat out of this tag team, because Kenny Williams is a little bit of a better wrestler than Adman Jordan. Um, and Kenny Williams gets the hot tag, and Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan end up hitting a double drop kick. I think they were supposed to hit at the same time, but they were a little off. And then they both hit double dives on the outside. And they both and Amir Jordan tries to put Gibson back in the win, but Zach Gibson throws him into the barricade, and he hits the lung blower into a code breaker for the win. I don't remember the name of the the move that they called it, but that was pretty much the match. But I thought this was a good tag team match, and I actually like the team of James Drake and Zach Gibson. I think they could be a force to be reckoned with. And then you had the main event, the match that everybody had been waiting for, um, the inaugural NXT UK Women's Championship Tournament Finals match. Um, which that's what actually was supposed to say, but I messed that up. Tony Storm versus Rhea Ripley. Johnny Saint came out with the championship, so because he was going to present it to the winner, and they treated us like a big deal because the announcer even said, "We're making history right now." Um, the winner of this match would be the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. I thought that was awesome. And this match got off to a hot start immediately. Rhea Ripley hits a drop kick right off the bat. Not Rhea Ripley, sorry. Tony Storm hits a drop kick right off the bat on Rhea Ripley. Hits a hip attack in the corner. She goes for it again on the outside, but gets caught into the barricade. And Rhea Ripley um, throws Tony Storm into the barricade, back first a ton of times. And then she eventually tries to do something on the apron, but Tony Storm counters it, goes for um, the Storm Zero, which is the um, Tiger Bomb, but Rhea Ripley hits a backdrop on the apron, and Tony Storm nearly gets counted out, but she rolls back in, and Rhea Ripley targets the back throughout the rest of the matchup on Tony Storm. Um, but eventually Tony Storm mounts another comeback. I even like, obviously that reverse counter cross that Rhea Ripley does, and she hits a hip attack and a double knees into the corner. She hits 3 German suplexes in a row right onto Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley hits a wicked clothesline. She goes for the Riptide the first time, but Tony Storm counters into a roll up. Goes for the um, Storm Zero or the Tiger Suplex or the Tiger Power Bomb, but her back gives out and Rhea Ripley hits Riptide and gets the win. I was actually kind of surprised about this because I didn't expect Rhea Ripley to win off one finisher since this was the finals of the tournament, but I was alright with this because this puts over the finisher, and when somebody probably kicked out of it in the Mae Young Classics, but I don't remember it, but when somebody finally does kick out of it again, um, it will be a big deal. So I actually like the fact that they're putting over Rhea Ripley's finisher. So I think that's awesome. And this match I thought was great. I thought this was a great finals match in the tournament. And Rhea Ripley is the new NXT, or the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. After which, this was on the YouTube. She gets interviewed and puts everybody over, puts the fans, the locker room, and Tony Storm over, and talks about how she's going to release brutality and devastation off the rest of the NXT UK women's roster. So I thought I liked that part. And afterwards, she even did a photo shoot with the championship, and I thought it was the right decision to have Rhea Ripley be the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion because she's been the most dominant in NXT UK. Tony Storm would have been nice as well, but Tony Storm didn't get hurt by this loss. I actually think it's best for her to chase for the title a little bit because she did win the Mae Young Classics prior to this and stuff anyway. So she already kind of had her moment, and I do think that we will get this match again. I don't know if we'll get an NXT UK takeover Blackpool or if we'll get it maybe down the line. But I do think that Tony Storm will win the NXT UK Women's title at some point. I actually think it makes sense to have Rhea Ripley win it and go on a nice, long, dominant reign with the title. And she's Pete Dunne, pretty much, of the women's division. The exact same gimmick. I could see her be like following the Pete Dunne path where he was this heel who brutalized everyone, but then eventually he just organically got over and everybody liked Pete Dunne. Same thing I think is going to happen with Rhea Ripley. I guarantee you. Um, Rhea Ripley too easily could go on the main roster right now too, and I think would do very well. But I think she's doing well in NXT UK. But that was this episode of NXT UK. I actually thought this was a great episode. Maybe because throughout this show I was really looking forward to that main event. Um, But we had a great match with Tyler Bate and Joe Coffey, and setting up the angle with British Strong Style and the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang. I thought was awesome. We had a good match with Ligero and Dan Maloney. A great match with Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm, and obviously the crowning of the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. And we had a good tag team match on this show. So I thought this was a great episode. I thought, it was everything that it was supposed to be. Everything that it was meant to accomplish was accomplished. So I'm going to give this episode a B+. I thought it was a great episode. And obviously you can tell by my letter grades that I enjoyed episode 12 more than episode 11. But I thought episode 11 was really good as well. But yeah, great episode. And NXT UK is really starting to catch fire. So maybe when I talked about my last video that I was surprised they did like an NXT UK takeover this quickly. Maybe there's a reason for that because if this show's really starting to catch fire now, why not really get people talking about it by doing that takeover? Because I think when it comes to NXT UK takeover Blackpool, I think that show's gonna really surprise everybody and be like a great show. Even though I don't know what the matches have been yet, I think and I know the matches have already been confirmed, but I think I'm not gonna look at them yet because I don't want to be spoiled about what's gonna happen with these next few episodes, but I'm really looking forward to NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, and I don't even know what a match is yet. So that's that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say right there. And that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content. And click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. And also do the same thing for my Sia Brothers and all the Talkinator channel. And before I end this video off, I do want to say Happy New Year's Eve because it's 1 o'clock it's a little bit past 1 o'clock in the morning where I am right now. And yeah, Happy New Year's Eve. I'm going to try to get as many videos up as I can, but I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve. And I can't believe we're at the last day of 2018. It feels like it was just yesterday. We were waiting for 2018 to approach, and now we're going to go into 2019. So, yeah, definitely a weird turn of events. But that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.